Yo guys, JJ here, and today I'm going to be taking you guys through a crazy beat I made. I mean a crazy beat. And as you guys can see by the title of the video, it's CUBEATZ making melody for future. Before we get into this, make sure drop a like, comment, subscribe, all that up below. I love the support, I love all of it, I appreciate you guys, so let's just get into this. First of all, the first main part of the melody, right? We got ourselves a little mallet. It's a one-shot bell. As you guys can see, it's from the producer Grinds One Shot. Please sponsor me. And I came up with this pattern. So first of all, I got my root notes down. Then I just used a lot of the semitones going on here and up here, and added a bit of a variety there. Then I clicked Alt R, velocity changes. That's how we like it. Make it more human. And from there on, I let the bit. And from there on, I let this bad boy play. So this is what it sounds like. Sounds pretty brazy already, and that's only the first part of the melody. I'm telling you now, this beat, madness. So first of all, on effects, we got ourselves a nice little EQ going on here. Then we put ourselves a bit of vinyl because we want that detuning. It just gives it a bit more of like a vintage spooky vibe. Then I opened a portal, and this one gave it that bit of like that trance kind of feel. Grain synthesis, it flows great. Portal bank. Then I applied a bit of Valhalla vintage verb because it just makes it a bit more ambient with the reverb, so that's what I did. Next up, we got ourselves another one shot. It's like a growler bass. It's any bass with a lot of distortion pretty much. And as you guys can see, I pretty much followed the root notes, and then I added these little slides here and here just to give it a bit more variety, a bit of movement to the bass. Is pretty much what it sounds like. And that's the bass for y'all folks. As for effects, I just added a mid driver from the Decapitator and a EQ that I did nothing with. Next up, I got myself a nice keyboard. It's the Stage 73.5, and it's a great plugin from Arteria. And I used the Clean Mark preset for this. Then all I did was play a couple of chords and then change with the voicing, as you guys can see. And I played that at the end of like every beat because it just gives it like a nice little call response kind of thing in a whole melody. And then obviously Alt S to strum, Alt R to randomize your velocities, because that's important. And then add a few filler notes. It just makes it sound nicer overall. The reason I kept the velocities quite low, it just tones it down so it's a bit more soft. It's not as harsh when you hear the keys play. But this is what it sounds like. And that's pretty cold, if you tell me. I mean, I think that's pretty cold, mate. So, for effects, we got ourselves a very basic telephone EQ, a nice little bit of vintageness, the VHS preset from RC20, of course. Then I put some fruity delay, put the wet a bit high, lowered the level a bit, so it's only like that one delay, I think, and that's all you can really hear. Ping pong, ear candy with your headphones in. Keep the pitch, and then time 8. That's what you want. Then, of course, a bit of reverb to give it a bit more space. As per usual. And then as you guys can see, I panned it a bit to the left and add some stereo separation, so in the mix it sounds even better. Then next up in our melody, we got a preset from Omnisphere, and it's the Lotus Flute. Great preset, used in a lot of beats. You know it and I know it, so that's why we're using it. This is a counter melody I came up with. I'll be honest, it took me a minute to come up with it, but essentially I instantly just placed these notes again using the half steps, reusing notes that you've heard in the previous parts of the melody. Then a little switch up in the second half, and then when I did these little things here and these little things here, I set the magnet to 1/6. And then for these little parts here, complete accident. And I'm like, oh, this sounds kind of hard. So just thought I'd throw it in for our discounter melody. And of course, played with the velocities as per usual. And this is what it sounds like. As for effects, I got myself a nice little telephone EQ and then just kind of did a bit of a weird like low pass thing, but on the very high end. Added a standard, you know, chorus, and then I washed it in reverb, because again, a bit of space, a bit more ambient, it makes it a bit more killer, a bit more lethal, like it's coming in sharp. And then I stereo separated it a bit, just about 27%. Then last but not least, in the melody, I added these little vocal chops. Without further ado, of course, this is the melody. And that's the melody that I think CUBEATZ would make for future. Obviously, it has a bit of my own spin on it. I think it goes cold. So let's get into the drums. First of all, we got ourselves a standard snare clap pattern, you know, vanilla, extra vanilla on top of more vanilla, because this is the most common thing you'll ever see, a standard pattern. So this is what it sounds like. Boom, bam, bash, and that's the snare. Next up, we got ourselves a hi-hat pattern. I didn't want to do too much because the melody was already going quite brazy, crazy, mazy. So a few rolls here, a few rolls there, little two-step roll, and then left a few spaces for the hi-hats to let the artist just do his thing. With all that being said, this is what the hat sounds like. And those are the hats for you. Next up, I added this little crash, just, you know, start of every 8 bar, does the job. It's a crash. It's literally a crash. Next up, we got ourselves the kick pattern. And you know what I'm already gonna say, max those velocities always, because you want those kicks and 808s to be slapping your head off. This is what my kick pattern looks like. It correlates with the 808 pattern, which is why you may think some of the placement's a bit weird, but this is what it sounds like. Lovely little bit of kick. We've made it to the 808, and what we've got ourselves here is a pattern following the root notes, and of course a few slides, because I thought it did this be quite nice. And this is the 808 pattern I came up with. Just followed the root notes, then just played out a pattern I thought sounded good to ear, and yeah, this is what it sounds like. That's that 808 for y'all. As you guys can see, had a nice little switch in the second half, as well as that punching, because those velocities are maxed as per usual, as you want it. And now, last but not least, we got ourselves a little open hat pattern just to add a bit more flair to the whole instrumental. And as you guys can see, very standard pattern. Just fold it along and then decide to add a little extra bit of an open hat at the end of the 4 bar. So this is what it sounds like. And now, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, this is the drum pattern. Don't look at me like I'm crazy, because this is a beat. This is a beat that's going crazy. Now you've obviously made it to the end of the video. I appreciate you made it this far. I appreciate all the support, obviously. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video, of course. You'll hear the beat at the end of it, of course. And for the third, of course, have a great week. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.